CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lampp.
My next guest, Bryce McKenzie, one of the co-founders of Groundswell. Interesting news there, Bryce. Maybe we're going to get a political spill. What do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know, Andy. There seems to be a lot of stories floating around. I just don't know how much truth's in it. But I guess time's going to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's certainly a lot of noise, and the media is enjoying every second of it. But certainly, I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Hey, Bryce, yourself, you've aligned with the NZ Farmers and NZ Farming Facebook page and the Methane Science Accord. You've sent a letter to, I said ACT, but I think all of the coalition partners, asking them what? What have you asked them to do?
Just give us a rundown on what they're going to stand for when it comes election time, really, Andy. There's a whole lot of stuff there, as you well know, and I haven't got any of it in front of me. So
I've got it here. How about I've got it here. Recess the Paris Agreement and net zero commitments. Reform the emissions trading scheme to stop productive farmland being converted into pine forestry. Remove agricultural methane and biological emissions from pricing and reporting rules. Scrap or reduce freshwater farm plans, RMA land mapping and excessive regulation. Pause gene technology changes that could risk New Zealand's GE-free export advantage, and lower costs on farmers, including rates, electricity and compliance. Is that right? Did I miss anything?
Yep. No, I think you've just about covered it all there, Andy. Yeah.
So very, very comprehensive. Before we get on to that, I'm interested that you're saying that the letter claims 424,000 members and followers part of the as backing you up on this. I just wondered, does a Facebook follow now equate to political support?
I guess it does if there's enough pressure applied from that group, but yeah,
is it fair then that a group? I mean, we're talking NZ Farmers here. They've got 275,000 members. I looked at there that I'm a member of that, and I know plenty of other people that follow that Facebook page. But I have no intention of taking anything that they do or say as a representative of me and what I stand for. Surely you can't equate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid argument you've got. What do you do? I mean, we've got all these followers. What do you just have a guess at how many? So we've just done taken the followers from each organisation, the email base of our own, and yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, but I think it's pretty disingenuous, to be honest. I mean, I'm not taking away from what you're asking there, but to send a letter and say to the political parties that you've got this level of support, when you dig into it, it's really just a bunch of Facebook followers, at least with Federated Farmers, and I want to get onto them in a minute, at least they're a membership organisation. People pay and they put their money where their mouth is, surely.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this isn't a competition with them. It's just something that we decided we would do as a committee.
So what's the response been?
At this stage, we've had an extension. New Zealand First asked for an extension, which we've, of course, granted. You've got no choice in that. And ACT have got back to us and said that they've got theirs about finished and they'll forward it on to us.
And National? I suppose they're busy at the moment.
I don't think it's a good time to be speaking to them, Andy.
Should we give them a call and see? So out of all this then, Bryce, that's a very, very comprehensive list. What's your wish list? What would be for you guys in this organisation, or this loose grouping of Facebook followers, would be your priorities?
Without a doubt, Paris was one of the priorities, and I guess methane.
But hasn't that been fixed, Bryce? I mean, aren't the reforms that have come through? Yes, we know that it's been possibly 5 years or 3 years too late, but hasn't the government, the coalition, actually done a lot of work on that and kind of resolved that issue?
Oh, you mean with the methane targets and that sort of thing?
Well, with the methane targets, and also with the with the rules around what how much you can plant, particularly for carbon forestry. Hasn't a lot of that already been resolved?
Oh no, there's still lots of areas going into trees that shouldn't be, Andy. And I mean, if it's production forestry, that's not so bad. But if it's carbon forestry, the chances are that a lot of these outfits are going to walk away from it.
But I'm talking to real estate agents. I was up in Whanganui a couple of months ago, and Bailey's real estate agent said to me that the sales of property to, or sheep and beef property to carbon has virtually died. It's stopped. It's just not happening.
Well, yes, I guess that would be attributed to the prices, and sheep and beef now would be playing a part in that, I would imagine.
What about the gene technology one? Because I'm really interested in this. Are you guys absolutely against it? What are you actually asking for here?
Well, yes, we probably do stand pretty firmly against it, Andy. But for all that, we're not convinced that the checks and balances are in place, and we're not sure that it's actually going to be good for New Zealand in the long run anyway. If you look overseas, there doesn't appear to be a country that's using gene tech that's got an advantage over the New Zealand farmers. So what do you want to do it for?
Oh, I'm not going to. We've had this debate, and I'm not going to have it again. I'm just interested in your topics here. Lower costs on farmers, right, including rates, electricity, and compliance. Why should agriculture get a free pass on this as opposed to the rest of the economy?
Oh, I don't think it should get a free pass. I think there's.
Well, what are you asking for? What are you asking for then?
Well, I guess it's just to notify the political parties that there is a lot of pain with those specialty rates, and that they pay some attention to it.
But aren't they already? I mean, I guess, like everyone knows this, don't they? Surely.
Oh, no, look, when it comes to rates, there's a lot of things there that they've introduced that are ramping up rates bills, and, this flood zoning and things like that are going to be very expensive for towns and cities that live near a river going forward, Andy.
So with your group here then, I'm interested in this. Are you actually trying to replace Federated Farmers as the main rural voice?
No, I mean, there probably are some that would like to, but I don't really see it that way. I can see that we can be complementary to one another. So, no, I don't look at it that way. I guess the difference we have is that we don't just necessarily have farmers in our organisation. We have town people on our committee. And so we cater to a lot of the urban needs as well.
Do you think feds still represent grassroots farmers, though? Do you think they're still relevant?
Yes, I think that they do definitely have a place in the whole setup, yes.
But, certainly this organisation then, this grouping, I suppose is the best way to describe it, it sounds like that you want to represent, if your numbers are correct, and we've discussed those, 420-odd thousand, that would be a large number, much larger than the Fed's representation. Are you looking for a seat at the table, effectively, when it comes to policy, when it comes to advocacy? Are you moving into that space?
Not directly, but I mean, indirectly, yes. And I mean, we have no mandate to do it directly. But it depends, I guess, as time goes on what happens, whether everybody's happy with the way advocacy is operating, then I guess the status quo will stay. But if they're not, then I imagine there'll be change.
Well, what would it take for you to to be part of that advocacy role, to get into it?
I guess if we see our standard advocacy groups becoming overly comfortable politically with any particular party would have something to do with that, and not being independent.
Well, which party then?
Oh, any party, Andy. I don't want to point the finger at any particular party, but any party. If they get too comfortable, especially when there's that's governing, then that becomes a bit of a problem.
Have they been guilty of that in the past, in your mind?
Oh, I would say under the last Labor coalition government, they got far too cosy with them.
Who, Feds did?
No, I'm talking about all of the advocacy groups.
Oh, we've got the old chestnut here of Waka Rekanoa, haven't we?
Well, it's bound to come up, Andy.
Yes, you and I agree to disagree on that one. We have for several years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't really disagree. The fact was that it got chucked out.
Well, no, the government changed. It didn't get chucked out. The government changed, and the rules changed on that one. Obviously, when we got, but if the government hadn't have changed, it wouldn't have got chucked out, Bryce. I promise you that.
Are you sure of that, Andy?
100% sure. It wouldn't have got chucked out. It would have been modified. In fact, it would have been worse. So, you know.
Do you think so?
I don't think so. I know so.
It was very, very unpalatable the way it was.
Well, yeah, but it had sector-wide support. Anyway, we're not going to go back down that trail.
Oh yeah, no, we're not. But that's wrong about sector-wide support. It did not. It had organisation-wide support, not sector-wide. I think most farmers are dead against it.
In saying that comes back to our discussion right now. Then, because your group, your aligned group of Methane Science Accord, Groundswell, and NZ Farmers, NZ Farming, whatever they are. You're actually setting yourself up then. You're saying that those sectors, so we were talking about dairy NZ, beef and lamb, all of the levy bodies and that, they were all involved in the He Waka. You were saying they didn't have sector-wide. Are you then setting yourself up as that sector-wide group to come in and challenge that?
Well, I guess we defaulted into that position, and you got to remember that I'm actually a member of Federated Farmers. I'm a member of Dairy NZ, so a lot of us are members of those organisations, and I guess I've seen some of those organisations not paying attention to what the members are bringing to them, so therefore there's always going to be a chance of discomfort and joining something else, isn't there?
Yes, there is. There is. Anyway, hey, Bryce, as always, as I say to people, we start as friends, we have an argument at the middle, and then we end as friends. We always catch up. How's the ranch, by the way? How's things down in...
It's looking really good, Andy. We've had really brilliant production, best ever. The grass has grown all the way through. We've got lots of supplements. It's got a bit cold now. We never really had a decent summer, Andy. It was cold all the way through, but the stock are in really good health. So we've got very little to complain about down here.
Well, that's
and
good.
We haven't been hit with these rains.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate.
It's good though, Bryce, because you'll be able to pay the rates, the electricity bills. So you'll be able. It'll be good. Just final question before you go: how's the duck population? I'm heading down Friday week, so I need to know.
Well, they've all turned up, Andy. They're everywhere. And as you know, last year, after the season, there was a lot of ducks around. Well, I guess they've all bred with it being a wet season, and there is ducks everywhere.
All right.
So you polish that shotgun up.
I'll be able to miss them like normal, Bryce. Don't you worry about that.
I can join you with that.
All right, mate. Really appreciate your time. Bryce McKenzie there, co-founder of Groundswell.
CountryWide Connect with Andy Thompson and Sarah Perriam-Lampp.